All right, so welcome to B2B Freelance Writer, the YouTube channel which teaches you how to break into B2B freelance writing. Now, B2B freelance writing is not the most exciting of niches. When we think about things we want to write about, it's very often B2C. So, B2C stands for business to customer. And a few examples of these are fitness, health, travel. We could even add relationships to that. Whereas B2B means business to business. These include niches like SaaS, software as a service, fintech, cybersecurity, AI, real estate as well. And consistently, B2B outperforms B2C when it comes to freelance writing. Now, the goal with freelance writing is to make a living from your laptop. And you can easily make around 5 to 6K per month when you start out. And you can scale it up to 10, 12K per month. I started out last year in October, and by November I had landed my first client, and by January I was making a full-time income as a freelance writer in the B2B niche. Now, when we talk about freelance writing, we tend to think about writing what we like. I differ from this approach. We can write what we like on our own. I write fiction on my own. That's perfectly fine. But when it comes to getting paid for your writing, you have to go for what the market asks for. Now, why B2B freelance writing pays better than B2C? The first reason is that B2B has a longer buying cycle. What it means is that customers take more time to buy, so they need to familiarize themselves more with your product, with the company's product, before they can make a decision. While they are in that familiarization stage, content becomes super important because they will search about your company, they will read the content, they will inquire more about the product. So let's take software as an example. They will inquire more about the software, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to read your blog, where you give more details about the software, and hopefully you explain in very nice ways how the software is better than the competitors. But B2C customers, they buy in a snap. So either they decide to buy or not, and often it can mean that one blog post or one YouTube video make them buy or not, or then they move on. So that longer buying cycle means that we need to have material for the customer to consume. This is why B2B content writing becomes super key. Now, the second one is that B2B has higher customer value. Bigger budgets. It's very simple. A B2C average purchase is somewhere between $20 to $200. If we look at our niches, we have fitness. So a fitness program could be something like $47 or $197. But a B2B average purchase is anything between 2K to 100K. So a software, for example, a CRM software, customer relationship management software, could be something like 50K. So if you make the B2B company win just one client, they can maybe make on average, let's say, 20K. They would be more than happy to pay you 2-3K per month just to keep you to produce content, because if you just get one customer, they make back their money in spades. Whereas if you work for a fitness influencer, you will need to get many customers to justify the cost that they're spending on you. Number 3 is that Content is a must-have in B2B. It's not a nice to have. If you've been in the freelancing world, you might have realized that you have to convince fitness coaches or relationship coaches that they need content. You find yourself having to persuade them. You do not need to persuade B2B companies that they need content. They are already aware of it. They need to have content, as we said before, because the buying time is more. So they need to have content which explains the features of their products, the benefits of their products, how their software compares to competitors, how it's better, etc. So all of that content is very important in that long buying cycle, which B2C does not have. So for B2C, they think twice whether they want to update their blog or not, or whether they need IG captions or not. It's a nice to have, but for B2B, it's a must have. And anything that is a must have will be paid more. They will be willing to pay you more because it's a must have. It's a need. Number 4, B2B is more AI proof. It's very important these days. Now, a fitness coach can write an email sequence or a blog using AI, using Claude, and that could work. But for a B2B content writer, you cannot just rely on AI. And I say that I have tried doing that, and it's simply not possible. You need industry expertise to write B2B. And industry expertise with specific knowledge of the company that you're working with. And then you can use AI to assist your writing. I have worked with B2B clients where they had an AI software to draft blog posts, but it is really just an assistant. AI cannot do your thinking in B2B writing, which is why in an age where AI is replacing freelance writers, in the B2B niche, it's not going to happen. And finally, number 5 is that the pain is bleeding neck level. The B2C pain is maybe I want to save $20 on a toaster, but B2B pain is we are losing 10K per month because of this inefficient software. So we need a good software. And they turned to B2B companies providing these softwares ready to invest to solve their financial problems. And as a result, these B2B companies are ready to invest in writers to bring better content so that these content can attract their potential clients, educate their potential clients, and eventually help them solve their problems. So it boils back to what we talked about earlier. Content writing in B2B is not a nice to have. You're not convincing anybody that they need content. You're actually helping them stop a financial problem. And the final test, if you have any doubts, is go to LinkedIn or any job boards like Indeed, JobsDB. Search for B2B freelance writing jobs. And then search for B2B freelance. Oh, my bad. And then search for B2C writing jobs, freelance writing jobs. And then search for B2B freelance writing jobs. What you'll see, you'll see that. You'll see that there are way more writing jobs for, you've guessed it, B2B. Way more. The market demands B2B writers. The market also demands B2C writers, but not that much. And if your goal is to become a highly paid freelance writer, and you don't mind writing about things that are not super exciting, you don't mind taking some time to learn about the industry, and by the way, you might like it. I know nothing about software as a service. I have not worked in it. I am not a tech person yet. I got into it. I started learning about the industries, learning about CRMs. I got to like it, but more than that, I got to understand it, and I became a highly paid freelance writer within a month. Well, actually 5 weeks, but that's a very short time, because trying to make it as a B2C freelance writer, and in my case it was in the fitness niche, there is demand. Of course there is demand, but it's way harder because you're fighting against market forces. But when you choose the B2B niche, you are aligning with market forces, and it is much easier to get paid well, and get paid on a regular basis. So that's it for this video. Thank you, and subscribe to B2B Freelance Writer. Cheers.